Hello everyone and welcome back to a new LEGO Star Wars set review. This is Chopper C110P and it has 1,039 pieces for $100 in the United States. Now on the surface level, price per piece, that looks like a good deal. However, we have R2-D2, which is also at the same time, and yes, R2-D2 does have more pieces, but the size is arguably bigger as well, and you're getting more for your money, especially with Darth Malak. But today we're going to see if this set is truly worth it. And here's a quick look at the back of the box, and you can see some of the set's play features, which we will get into today, starting with Chopper. And here he is in all his glory. And of course, if you wanted to pause the video, you can read this right now, but we're looking at Chopper for today. This Chopper is honestly very good. It does have the back printing, and you do see those orange studs, which does not say in the instructions, but we'll get to their purpose later in this video. However, this Chopper is pretty good, except for the stud on his head. I think it doesn't represent this dish very well at all, so removing it will honestly give you a better looking Chopper. And here we have C110P or Chopper, and my first thoughts are I love this set. This is one of those sets that you just need to buy. I love it. If you like Star Wars Rebels or the Ahsoka show, I think you'll love this. It has so many cool little details that just work really well in my opinion, except for the eyes, which we'll get to, but everything else on this is honestly amazing. The paneling details, the size, it just feels like Chopper. Now, one thing I want to note before we continue is that yes, you can pick this up by its head. I thought it would snap, but it really doesn't. It's possible that it will over time, but for me, it hasn't. And you can see a little play feature that we'll get to right now. If you flip Chopper around like so, you can get to the back of him. And to access this play feature, all you have to do is move this back and forth. It's definitely a little bit of an awkward play feature, but I don't know why that fell off. That is something to look out for, but it is a pretty cool play feature. And here's a look at it from the front side. It's nothing too crazy, but if you really wanted to use this play feature like you should, I would say just move it with your hands. It works so much better and you can get such more emotion out of it. And as you can see, Chopper's head can spin a 360 degrees, and when you do spin it, the arms kind of fall. They can fall off like they just did, but some of the time they definitely won't. And with these arms, you can give them very large posability. They can move pretty much any way you want to in this sort of range. Again, they do pop off pretty easily, but that's just kind of how they work. They're meant to not be played with. They're meant to be put in a position like so and just be stayed there. It's meant to be a display piece, but you can definitely play with it. And Chopper also does have an arm that can be taken out of his body. And this is so he can use different control modules or just different controlled areas like R2-D2 can. But one thing you can do is also remove Chopper's arms, and using the two studs on the back of this stand, you can attach them to here. And by doing so, it kind of just blocks the look, so then Chopper is just more of a completed build, and yeah, you just don't have the arms out at all times. You have the recognition of the arms, but nothing too crazy. However, when you want to take this off, it's a very much pain. So a better way to take it off is just by ripping off the entire panel, popping it off, and then popping the panel back on. That is the best way I found to take it off, and then you can just reattach the arms to either side, like so. Chopper's eyes in this set, however, are definitely lacking. They don't have the right angles or the right colors to them, and I think it hurts this set a lot, especially that it's its main look, it's its main attraction is the face. But we can move past that for now, and we can see the legs. The legs definitely have an awkward building technique. You can move them forward and then backwards like so, and it's a little bit different than what I remember R2 being. On the set, you can also remove the bottom tire just by ripping it off, just like R2-D2. And there's a good look at the bottom of it with these nice paneling. And yeah, you can also just place it like this normally, and that's how Chopper kind of looks just standing like so. He normally doesn't stand with his arms, however, so this is how he kind of looks, and it's not too bad. The eyes definitely take away from everything, but besides that, it's still a very good model. Now for this next part of the video, we're just going to start ripping off panels to show you some of the interior. If you look, this part of the section is not attached to anything. It is just sitting in place between the studs, and that is how it kind of just moves in place. And here's a good look of the insides of Chopper, and there is not a stud wasted. Every little bit of this has a purpose. And again, this is the inside of the mechanism, which can move a lot better if you take the panel off. But again, nothing is being wasted here. Every piece has its place, and every part of the set is being utilized to its fullest. Even if you flip it on upside down, this section is still completely full. It is not hollow by any means. Every section of this is used, even the air. The air is used so this can move. Every part of this has a purpose. And of course, this chopper also has many different functions here. You can move this, which I don't think it's supposed to. It's more of just looks, and it has wires sticking out, and it's a nice color. But if you also notice, one leg is white and one is gray. In Star Wars Rebels, this was the same, which means the chopper never got his second leg replaced. He sacrificed one of his legs to save one of his droid friends in Star Wars Rebels. I'm spacing the name right now, I'm sorry. But again, it's kind of cool to see the chopper kept it as a memory of his sacrifice to get rid of one of his new legs to save one of his friends. And here's a quick look at the underside of Chopper's head. It's definitely more stable from R2-D2, and they definitely learned their lessons from that. But this has been my review of the Chopper LEGO Star Wars set. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you all again soon. Goodbye.